What is up, everybody? I'm the Retro Nerd, and welcome to another episode of Retro Night. And this time around, we are playing Wario Land 3 in honor of Super Wario May. Now, you guys are wondering, why aren't you playing Mario games? Well, I've done it twice already. I've already done 2 Super Mario Mays, which will return. Super Mario May will return next year. But I figured, why not give Wario some of the limelight? Because, you know, Luigi can't get any because, well, Luigi doesn't have a lot of games to himself. And Peach doesn't have a lot of games to herself. Yoshi has a couple. And, well, the only other person that has as much success as Mario with games would be Wario. So, I'm doing Super Wario May. And so, let's get into the premise of Wario Land 3. So pretty much one day, Wario's plane stalls and crashes while he's flying over the woods. Uninjured, he spends the rest of his afternoon wandering amongst the trees and underbrush until he stumbles upon a mysterious cave. Inside the cave, he discovers a magical music box and is suddenly sucked into it. There, a mysterious figure informs Wario that he had once ruled the world inside the music box until an evil being sealed away his magical powers in 5 music boxes. In exchange for freeing it, the being promises to send Wario back to his own world and let him keep any treasure he finds. Pretty much most of the premises for all the Wario Land games. Enticed by the thought of returning to his own world with a cache of treasure, Wario departs on his quest in search of the music boxes and the many treasures of this mysterious land. So pretty much it's Mario style. You just go through the game and, you know, collect certain treasures and stuff like that. And, you know, Wario's got his own unique abilities and stuff like that. Like, he's got his tackle, he's got ground and pound. And then when certain enemies hit him, he gets affected by them, sort of causing like power-ups essentially. If you guys have been watching the Wario Land 2 gameplay, you notice that, you know, if Wario gets hit with fire, he becomes Fire Wario. Sort of like reverse way of how Mario does it. Mario, you know, picks up a power-up. Wario gets hit by an enemy, then that enemy helps him get a power-up. I know, it's really weird. But essentially that's how it works in the Wario Land games. Wario does not pick up power-ups, he gets hit by the enemies, and voila! That's how he gets his power-ups. But it's fun because Wario really essentially doesn't really die. I mean, except for in the later incarnations of some of the Wario Land games where they give him health. So if he gets hit by certain enemies, he'll lose health. But essentially, Wario just loses treasure each and every time. And I never had not enough treasure to find out like what would happen if like I ran out of treasure. Like if I hit 0, what would happen if I got hit again? Would I just die then? But essentially, Wario's really unbeatable. So that's always makes the game a little bit more entertaining. Because you gotta try to find different ways of using these power-ups to get through certain areas and shit like that. So, and of course, besides his tackle, his ground pound, Wario can also pick up enemies and toss them. You know, help him get through certain areas that he can't get through because he needs an enemy to chuck at certain objects and stuff like that. Yada yada yada. These are really good games. This one was a commercial success, and it spawned, you know, Wario Land 4, which would be the next Retro Night I will be doing, which is Wario Land 4. So, yeah, if it wasn't for them coming up with the concept of Wario for Super Mario Land 2, Wario wouldn't have his whole series because I guess people just fell in love with the bad guy, so they're like, hey, give him his own series. So they did. Unlike, you know, Nintendo usually just ignoring like enemies that they've created before for other games, and people are just like, hey, bring back so and so, and Nintendo's like, nah, we don't want to, that guy sucks. But they brought back Wario and gave him his own series, and now Wario just lives in infamy because of the WarioWare games and all that shit. So is it a good game? Yes, it's a fantastic game. I love it because it's so un-Mario about it, you know. Yeah, the guy's from a Mario game, but he's just so un-Mario. It's one of those ones where you're just like, finally I get to play as like a villain who now became like an anti-hero, because he still saves the day. But what makes him so anti-hero is like, unlike Mario would be like, no, I don't want all your treasure. Just, I did my job. I saved the day. Wario's like, yeah, I saved the day, but give me fucking money. I want it now, bitches. He's essentially Nami from One Piece. Nami's like, yeah, we'll help you out for a fee though. You gotta pay us like 1,000,000 berries. So essentially that's what Wario is. Started out as a villain taking over Mario's castle, and then sort of transitioned to anti-hero, where it's like, yeah, I'll save the day, but you let me keep all the treasure I find. I'm not going to give it back to you. Fuck you guys. I want the treasure. So, and it is a fantastic game. Graphics are great. Gameplay is fantastic. It's a Nintendo game. They're always good. Except for, there's a couple of Nintendo games that are bad, but Nintendo always knows how to make tight controls, good graphics, and stuff like that. It's when they let them. It's when they let other companies do their major properties. Metroid Other M. I'm sorry, I had a little cough there. But other than that, fantastic game. I highly recommend playing Wario Land 3 and Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance. This one's on the Game Boy Color, so get your GameCube Game Boy player like I do and boot it up and play the shit out of this game. Also get Wario Land 2. That's a fun one so far. The only thing that sucks about mine is I may have to cut that series short due to the fact that the battery in my game does not save the game. So I'll probably do like 2 more episodes and then of that series and cut it short and not even get to the to the final boss, because it's just getting harder and harder to get back to where I was in the game and all that stuff. So it just sucks trying to get back there. But I did find one way to skip a lot of the levels, and that's don't wake up at the beginning of the game. Don't wake up, and it'll actually take you all the way to third set of stages, which is like the 3rd chapter. So if you don't wake up at the beginning, it'll set you all the way up to the 3rd chapter. So you actually skip chapter 1 and chapter 2 and go right to chapter 3, and there's only like 5 chapters in the game, but each one consisting of 4 levels and then a boss fight, I believe. Yeah, 4 levels and a boss fight, or 3 levels and a boss fight, some shit like that. But yeah, so I'll probably do 2 more episodes of that, cut it short because of the fact that the battery inside the game will not save the game, which sucks because I do not want to leave my GameCube running just to record those episodes. But I will continue on with Wario Land Shake It. I am having tons of fun with that game. I could not believe that game was on the Wii and I missed out on it. Tons of fun with that one. But yeah, go ahead, go pick up Wario Land 3 for your Game Boy Color. Pop it in. Tell the game the Retro Nerd sent you. Anyways, guys, I've been the Retro Nerd. This has been Retro Night, and we were playing Wario Land 3 for the Game Boy Color. Retro Nerd out.